Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Listen, let's get into this, baby. There is a scary new update on what is going on with Porsha and Simon. But first, we got to clear up some rumors that are going around. First of all, this ain't no allegedly. We are reading from court documents. But unlike, because this is the thing, I swear to God, I think Simon and Porsha got trolls in the thing, right? Because everybody's like, well, how we know they're him? Because his name is on the front page of the filing. How we know this isn't forged? Because if you go to the U.S. Immigration Court with the docket number, it shows every single thing. Why they bringing this up after 30 years? They're bringing it up after 30 years because just like the judge actually ruled, the judge isn't accusing Simon of anything. The judge had said in a court of law, you are a liar, right? Well, you did omissions and untruth, but also the reason why it's being brought up after 30 years is because Simon Gabodia has been an unlawful an unlawful resident in the United States of America for the past 30 years. He has been in this country unlawfully. He obtained a permanent resident visa, the step before you become a naturalized American citizen. He obtained the visa unlawfully. Not only, and they only found out about it in 2016 because this person, right? Porsha's and her man, thank you to her man. We're going to talk about the scary update about whether Porsha knew who leaked the information, why they leaked the information, and how if Porsha can cancel that Bravo contract, this will be a good time to do it. I don't know what she promised them, but baby, the block is hot. People are saying that legitimate business people, and by legitimate, I mean we actually know where the money comes from through public records, right? Maybe Simon is legitimate. There's no record on public records. Have y'all seen it? I've looked. I haven't seen anything. If you know, drop the link, drop the addy. I'd like to know. The U.S. government seems to feel the same way that I do about Simon's character, his moral, lying, admission. Anyway, let me get back onto my stuff. Let's start from the beginning. This ain't no allegedly. You know, when you file documents in a court of law, it has not been proven. So it's like, this is what the defense is saying. This is what the plaintiff is saying. But once the judge rules on that mofo, ain't no more allegedly, it has been independently confirmed in a court of law. The judge read Simon down. Simon, it's coming up after 30 years because he thought he had the cheat code. He thought he was getting over. I started with the court documents yesterday. I had to stop. I'm going to finish the court documents today because the judge's ruling is where you just sit there and you're just like, oof, I'm scared for Porsha. Why am I scared? Now, listen, I'm going to bring you guys the evidence. The evidence is based upon my information and belief. You don't have to take what I say for a fact. I'm giving y'all the evidence and then you do with what you want. Make up your own minds. I could care less, baby. Please. My man got his citizenship. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, right? Simon better hold on tight to that Nigerian passport. That's why he was talking about the Nigerian passport is the best passport in the world. And no shade to Nigeria. Of course, beautiful country. Be proud of where you're from. Rep your MF and set. But this man has been trying to get into America for the last 30 years. Let me say this loud and clear because there are so many misinformation bots on the internet. It's not the fact about the mess that he did 30 years ago. The U.S. immigration judge even says that. You did a lot of mess 30 years ago. Bank fraud, fraudulent marriages, credit card fraud, twice. Unauthorized use of a vehicle, which is the way I read it, is to say it's a stolen vehicle. The judge says that. They're like, yeah, that happened 30 years ago. But the issue that the judge has in front of the court in January 11, 2024 is mofo. We found out that after we deported you, okay? After we deported you back in 1990, whatever, when Chub Rock jumped up on the scene and Parkville full of lean, right? Back in 1990, whenever, right? When Simon didn't have to use Photoshop, they did not know that he had gotten a visa application under a fake name with omissions and fictitious. Baby, that's an omission is a lie where I'm from. At least my Bible study said that an omission is a lie. And in the courts, that's what it is too. Said that unbeknownst to them, he was granted a SAW, a specialized agricultural visa, SAW work permit visa, because Simon said he was not just a farmer, but a specialized agricultural worker visa. He used a fictitious name, lied about his criminal history, lied about everything. 26 days after he was deported, he was granted a SAW visa in a fictitious name. Simon then got that visa and with his new identity, call him Jason Bourne without the intelligence, without the body, and without the face, right? We'll call him Jason Warren the hell out. He then took that visa and re-entered America under false premises, where he has been, when he said, I'm right here in the USA, baby, you just right here right now, because you're in here under fictitious. The judge said you are here. You are no longer a lawful permanent residence, because anybody that gets lawful permanent residence under anything fictitious, you no longer have lawful permanent residency. This happened January 11, 2024. The government found out that he's been lying for how many years? That's why it's becoming caught. We're also going to talk about whether Simon is going to be deported or not, because I've talked to a bunch of immigration lawyers, and baby, it ain't looking good. So what's the scary part? The scary part is anyone not scared for Porsha? I mean it. Everybody, I don't understand what's wrong with some people. Everybody's trying to turn this into like housewives shade. Y'all just mad because he got money. First of all, Hush Puppy got money. Where's he at now? Where's Hush Puppy? Where's the woman he was married to? Where's the woman he was dating? Where's his kingdom? Hush Puppy had money. If y'all don't know who Hush Puppy is, he is, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion based upon my information and belief, he is Simon's idol. Simon wishes he could do half of the damage Hush Puppy did before Hush Puppy was arrested in shame in Dubai. But I think that we looked at it and said, oh my God, right? Simon looked at it and said, do you think I could do that too? Let me go. Again, nobody is worried about the mess Simon did 30 years. Well, the U.S. government is worried about the mess Simon did 30 years ago. Because at the end of the day, everybody got a pass and everybody makes mistakes. But baby, when you make one mistake and God said, I'm going to give you this one. When you make two mistakes, God's like, now I told you were blessed and highly favored, but you got one more time. You make 3 mistakes. You make 4 mistakes. Simon was sitting there getting deported, sneaking back in, doing bank fraud, credit card fraud, fraudulent marriages. He literally was like, give me 1 margarita. I'm going to open my legs. Give me 2 margaritas. Like, give me 1 blessing, God. I'm going to open my, give me 2. I'm going to give it some head. Like, Simon was out here wild in the streets, which is why a lot of people are really, really worried for Porsha. They feel like her ego and her pride is so wrapped up in the Simon. But they also feel like it might be more than her ego and pride. They feel like it might be her business dealings. See, here's the thing. Simon thinks he got everything figured out because he thinks he got everything figured out. Maybe everything's offshore. I don't know. But a lot of people are worried that, did y'all ever see Ozark season 1 through 3? Did y'all ever see that the way the perfect money laundering scheme is to take a business that has a brand name and very established, and a business that on the surface, everybody assumes making money, but they're not. And then you start laundering the money through it, right? You start laundering the money through it, right? A toilet costs $10,000. A 30-inch bust down costs $5,000. Some Walmart sheets that got a name, Pampered by Porsha, might cost $8,000. Now, I don't know if Porsha let Simon literally start running whatever his business profits are. Wink, wink, wink. Business profits through her corporations that, by Porsha's own words, she said Go Naked Hair didn't make any money for like the longest. Same thing with Pampered by Porsha. We haven't heard from them, but they're still up. what's going on with those businesses. If Porsha was dumb enough to let Simon get her involved in this mess, and I do think there is a point where she actually found out what she was working with, because as his spouse, I would imagine she would have to sign on immigration paperwork, but I don't know, because Porsha literally like did a celebration for moving into a man's house without your name being on the deed at all. So Porsha literally is, again, she wanted Fallon's life, she got Fallon's life. You wanted Fallon's problems, you got Fallon's problems. Also, you guys, I just want to let everybody know today is members only Monday. I know y'all be in the chat like Tisa, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm listening. But it gets really, really busy. I can't listen. Let me just get members only Monday is going to be for members only. We're going to be talking about mess. This is going to be the first members only Monday. I will be reading from the chat. We are going to chop it up, and I have some exclusive info that I'm saving for the members only Monday. But y'all get it. It's going to be later on tonight. Okay. If you don't see it, catch the replay. But listen, it's 2024, and I'm going to start treating y'all like and show y'all the love I feel towards y'all. Okay. So where y'all want to start, right? Hey, Dovey Milton too. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I will see you on live, and baby, we will chop it up. We will do those deep dives, and I'm going to be in the comments, and I'll be answering all the questions you have. Even if your questions are skeptical, it's okay, baby. I got receipts. People can put as many trolls farms as they want. Baby, I got the receipts. Hey, Lindick. Thank you so much, Lindick. Thank you so much, Lindak, for the super sticker. Ooh, Dr. J, 1930 said, Porsha can't play dumb on this. No way she didn't know something. Dennis, go get your child. Y'all, listen, let me tell y'all something about that. Also, Dory Angel, thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay, so listen. We're also going to talk about the Dennis Porsha situation, because this is just a little tea that I heard. Okay, now this is based upon information and belief, and I will say this right here is my speculation that marriage going to last. I mean it. And don't tell me, oh my God, what God put down, nothing can take under. God don't send a woman for another man's husband. I mean, another woman's husband. He just don't do that. Now, I'm not saying God didn't eventually bless the union. I don't know. They were in a church talking about some steady, are you ready? With like a giant church with like 12 guests, right? Was a beautiful wedding. But God don't send somebody another woman's husband. He just don't do that. God knows how to make divorces happen quickly. Simon is in Dubai. This application, he actually is in real danger of being deported. Everybody's like, how was he able to stay in the country for so long? He got into the country he got in the country by lying. They didn't know who he was. And it wasn't until he in 2016, when he went to go get naturalized, they reviewed this case and was like, what? You've been what? With here? With who? It wasn't until all that happened that all of a sudden they were like, oh, no. Simon then went back and sued the government, saying, how dare you tell me my fictitious name, identity, and my omissions about my criminal past, and actually how dare you tell me that is barring me from citizenship? The judge looked at him and said, baby, let me just tell you one thing for certain. You would no. And Simon was ruled by an immigration judge to no longer be a permanent resident. See, that's the thing about scams. And this is why people are really, really scared for Porsha. And Porsha should be scared. One, Simon's dumb. He's dumb. It's just like he's dumb, even by scams. I'm just a regular YouTuber, and I saw through it in 2 seconds. What do you think the federal government actually thinks about this? I know he thought he got away with it when he applied back in 1990, whatever, and got that permit. But baby, that was before what? Microwave ovens, before the internet, right? Right? Before electric cars. Baby, now we got the internet. Now everything's filed. Now it was like, survey says, you ain't getting into this, right? But also, somebody that is that reckless. You know how like sometimes when people are reckless, they are like geniuses. So you're just like, oof, right? but you always pull through. Simon is dumb, but he's reckless. He's foolhardy. He thinks he's smarter than everybody, even though everything of these little perpetrations of frauds that worked 30 years ago, he's still trying to do now. And the sad thing is, all it takes is an Instagram pic. This is how people be getting scammed. All it takes is an Instagram pic of you in a Bentley for people to be like, no, I can trust you. You got money. Please show me how to invest, baby. He won't tell you how to invest in his kingdom. His father has been deposed. And if you can kindly transfer 20,000, he will kindly give you 1.9 million back. I'm just saying. They're also trying to say that in Atlanta, Simon and Porsha never, ever, ever got embraced by the African community. First of all, him talking about him hanging out with Akon. The Africans that have money don't even really like doing business with Akon from what I see. Because what happened to Akon City? He couldn't even get investors. So yeah, they'll go for a show and you're talented, but baby, who respects you business-wise? But let's get back to, because why Akon catches stray, right? Let's get back to Simon. The streets are saying, again, in Atlanta, and you take for what you will and let you know what you think. In Atlanta, their biggest thing, and the thing people are scared about is, for one, America can at times be deeply racist. Let's be real. And let's be real, there are a lot of very negative stereotypes going on about Nigerian people in the banking industry. Let's be real. But that said, right, it's a stereotype. However, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of Nigerians that are millionaires and billionaires and got for real what Simon wants to act as fake. And they be moving big money because they are legitimate business people. But because of people like Simon, somebody that literally has the income and has the life and this and that Simon wished that he had, and fake it till you make it. They're trying to drop in $2 million checks in Bank of America because, baby, that's how much their expenditures are for 6 months. And those checks are being denied. They are literally closing accounts and telling them to go other places. That's how hot the block is right now, that legitimate Nigerian businessmen are being asked to go bank other places because of people like this fool. So why do I say this? To say that, what do you think the odds are that as much as legitimate businessmen in Atlanta, the African circle did not seem to either recognize Simon or really embrace him? Because from what I hear, those Africans are really, really clicked up from what I hear. What's the odds? What's the odds that they gonna want to be seen on the hardwood floors with Simon? What's the odds that they gonna be wanting to have brunch with Simon? What's the odds they want to be seen in Dubai in Simon, where these people are already using racist stereotypes to think that all Nigerians that got money are somehow scamming, right? Instead of knowing they really got oil money. And then you actually sitting there with a real life scammer that the United States government, again, this ain't no accused or allegedly, has literally deemed as a felon, as a criminal, as a liar, and somebody that is in the country illegally. I'm sorry, without a valid permanent residency. That's right. The judge ruled his green card is dead. Now, listen, in 2016, well, actually, let me get to the judge's stuff. Anyway, to my thing, it's scary because how can you be with somebody that reckless? They are capable of anything. And no, I'm not implying any, Diddy stuff. Cause from what Porsha said, Simon don't got Diddy's energy. Simon don't got Diddy's energy from what Porsha be saying, right? Right? That De Leon be taking a lot out of Simon, right? That's a young man's game. But all jokes aside, from the scariness that you're with someone that is so reckless, look at the way Simon played loose and hard with his own life. Even to the point of you, after 30 years of being in America, that that your whole persona, that your permit is under, right, is fictitious, or at least large enough fictitious that the large enough fictitious that the judge ruled on it, right? Painting a broad side. Imagine you having the cojones to go after you got deported, apply under a fictitious name and all that other stuff. Come back in under that fictitious name. Be living here under that fictitious name, right? Got all these companies doing all these weird things, right? Then you go and apply for citizenship because you think you're smarter than everybody. But in between then, you encourage your then wife to go on Housewives, and you go out of your way to flaunt this wealth and lifestyle. You know that your immigration green card that gives you permanent residency is a different name and a different past than the one you actually have. You go on national TV, smoking cigars, looking at your wife, your then wife's friend's booty jiggle in a hot tub. Is Porsha cursed? But then again, maybe it's like you go in there with bad intent. I don't know. Anyway, right? I don't know. Or maybe she's happy with them. Maybe it's the type of man you want. You're on national TV. Do all this mess. You know that you're here on borrowed time. You know, but you don't care because you're so effing reckless. You know it. Double identity, different life. You are planning to get a green card in a different identity, but publicly you are saying, my name is Simon Gabadia. I come from the distinguished Bennett tribe. Y'all, that's reckless. It's dumb, but it's actually scary reckless. It's like being with somebody that you got a friend that whenever they get into an argument, they pulling that chopper out in the middle of church, shooting up the church. Like, it's reckless. Like, it's scary how reckless. And then on top of that, after you somehow get away with, in your mind, perpetrating the fraud, which I will just say another scary thing. We'll get into that. After you get over perpetrating a fraud, you then go on Porsha's Family Values and have the nerve to speak down on Black Americans and talk about how we don't have culture and Black women are bitter and we do this. And the whole time you are twice convicted felon, 3 times deported, begging for your immigration and already been denied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or how many ever times. Imagine the audacity, right? Imagine the sheer unmitigated gall. And you sitting up there posting stuff about how, what's his name? Bill Gates is partnering with you on a SPAC energy fund. And if anybody knows about SPAC energy funds, if you have any, you would know just hearing it, talking about it's going to be worth $1 billion. Porsha's sitting up there like picking out like her summer house off the coast of France. And SPAC energy, the reason why I can't pick up is because it is largely experimental. It has not been able to be proven to actually be able to be actually outsourced on a large scale. It's very highly not experimental, but it's a new emergent energy thing. And nobody knows if it's going to take off because nobody's figured out how to make a SPAC fund actually profitable, but also actually work. But that's just other stuff that anybody would know, right? All right. So listen, hold on. Let me just do this. Don't forget the members only Monday live. It's going to be, we're going to answer questions. Let me get a shout out to Miss Goddess K. I love you too, boo. I'll see you tonight at the members only Monday. Hey, Interior Motors. I'll see you tonight at the members only Monday. Thank you so much. Keisha. Thank you so much. I'll see you at the members only Monday. And Anna Long, what's up? Welcome back, mama. I'll see you at the members only Monday. All right. So anyway, right? But again, that's why people are worried about Porsha. Because imagine that you with somebody that reckless. He played around with his own life there. That's his own life. And this mofo seemed to love himself more than anything. What you think he's going to do to your life? What you think he's going to do to your bank accounts? What you think he's going to do to your reputation? He did this to his own. What you think he's going to do to yours? Think about it. What's he going to do to yours? And that's another thing that people are scared about. First of all, you guys are pretty much like pariahs. Now, I know this fool will probably let's see him post up a Yeezy right now. not Yeezy, Jeezy, all these people, let's get his friends because he loves to post up like, yeah, I got money, baby. That's because they think the money is coming from someplace clean. Nobody wants to be next to somebody when the block is hot. And maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know. Stupid people do things all the time. You got people saying this can't be Simon because he's not referred to by name in the petition. He's on the front page. He's on the front page. And then, you know, how they put this is the defendant, Simon Iori Gubodia, against blah, 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 blah. And then after that, he's referred to as a petitioner. And there's the defendant, right? You got people saying, well, I don't know. Could it be? I mean, allegedly, how can something be? We have lost the plot. How can something be allegedly when a federal judge just ruled on it? And the reason we have all this information is that the federal judge put it out there. I mean, the filing was there, but he put everything. He pulled up mess that Simon did from 30 years ago and said that on January 11th, 2024. And he said, that's why you can't come in because you are not a lawful U.S. green card holder. You are not a lawful permanent resident. That residency has been revoked. Why? Because anyone that lies on their green card application cannot. And this fool went back and argued and said, how dare you call me out on my lies? Simon is dangerous to me. When I say dangerous, not like physical, but to be with somebody that reckless, it will scare me. It really, and again, hold on, guys. Again, don't get me wrong. This isn't about the fact that somebody's been locked up once, somebody did like credit card fraud trial. Like everybody makes one or two mistakes when you young, wild, and free, right? I do want to point out that Simon's 60? So 30 years ago, he was 30. Everybody acting like he was like 15. He was 30, but still, times are tough when you're working at Church's Chicken. That was one of Simon's job. I don't understand with that. He got that ambition, baby. Look in his eyes. Right now, he's on the floor. Next week is the fries, right? Only he was side-eyeing people's credit card numbers. But honestly, all jokes aside, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody hustles. Everybody takes their bite at the apple. Simon took his bite at the apple over. And then when he finally somehow changed the game because his application happened before internet existed, he went back because he thought and tried to codify it. Also, I do want to address, right? This is really, really important. In my last live, go watch it. I think it's live. Ha 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 ha. If I don't say if I don't say so myself, I think it's a key. But I do want to say that I actually, when I was reading the documents, I said that Simon left Fallon in 2022, and then his application was denied. Y'all know I be living in different years, and my mind is still to last year. Listen, let me clear that up because it's important that y'all know this. All right? It's important that y'all know this. Remember when Fallon said that Simon in 2020, December 2020, he sent her a text talking about, why don't you I'm not, and tried to tell Jaden, yo, go be with her if you want. Since some people want to be like, that's not factual because they're trying to play fucking stupid. Sorry. They're trying to play stupid like they don't understand the way years work. Let me actually quote from the paperwork about what happened because the timeline still matches. Just swap out 2020 and 21 for 2022, 2023. December 2020, Simon put in his, actually, let me pull this up. High heels on my tippies. Dolce & Gabbana. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so anyway, let's get into this. I'm just pulling this up. Okay, so let's get into the background, which the judge read down. Again, this isn't allegedly. This has been proven in a court of law. This is an actual legal document. This is the judgment for why they denied him. Okay. On December 22nd, 2016, Simon applied for naturalization, Permanent green card resident is different than naturalization. Naturalization means you will have all the benefits of American citizenship. Permanent green card said you can always be deported. Like it's okay, you will be treated like a natural born American citizen. Okay. December 22nd, 2016, Simon applied for naturalization under his second identity. That's the fake identity, right? And was denied because his temporary resident status was unlawfully granted. When your temporary resident status, that's the green card, was unlawfully granted, somebody that knows how to put together, tell me what that means. It means you are unlawfully here because you no longer have temporary status. So as much as people can sit there and be like, yeah, I'm still in the USA, baby, not for long. If you know what I know. Not for long. There's also this debate about who leaked it. Was it Bravo or was it Porsha? Because I got off topic a while back, but apparently, Simon's living in Dubai right now, basically. Even if Porsha sees Pilar every other week, at least I think. Even if she flies to see Simon as much as she can, at the most, he's only going to see her 8 days out of the month. Simon is a known cheater. Simon got a fetish for Latina and Eastern European girls. Dubai, as far as I know, is the mecca of prostitutes of all different shapes, flavors, sizes, but especially the flavors that Simon actually likes, right? Again, if you're seeing a man who's a known cheater, who's reckless, who's whatever, right? And you only see him at best, and this is if you're on that 24, 40, however long it takes to get from Dubai to Atlanta, right? Flying back and forth. Even if you go as soon as you drop Pilar off and then you come back, at most, you're going to see him 8 days. How's that marriage going to survive? Again, if a dude was honest, faithful, hardworking, of course, just like couples can survive distance. But when you're with someone that's a known cheater, I don't know. But then again, maybe he's changed. He said a lot has changed. But these court documents, the judge was just saying the more things change, the more they say the same. But let me just get into this, right? So remember in December, I think it was 31st of 2020, because Simon applied for, on December 31st, 2020, petitioner filed another application for naturalization. So in December, New Year's Eve, remember when Fallon said that he completely left her on New Year's Eve? Completely. He applied in December 22nd, 2016. They said, get out of here, right? But they give you time to appeal. On December 31st, 2020, he filed another application. Fallon said that he left her alone on New Year's Eve. I do believe that is the video that he has when he's like, look, there they are entering my home. Right, I'm not there. And everybody was like, oh, boo, Fallon. But then I was like, well, where was that mofo? Apparently that mofo was doing the horizontal mambo with Popo, P. Willie. Anyway, right? Pow, pow, pow. So he filed it on New Year's Eve. Again, he filed that in New Year's Eve. Once that application was going, don't forget what Fallon said. In February, he told her he wanted a divorce. Remember that? It was all over the blogs. And he did that live. I just want to say, the Fallon had money, and I had money, and I was her well, but no, not for me. I need somebody healthy and non-toxic. Anytime somebody says, I don't like drama and I need somebody healthy and non-toxic, baby, you are the toxicity. You are the drama, right? Anyway, but then remember something really odd happened, that Simon revoked the divorce and said, never mind. I love my wife because we are equally yoked. This happened around January, February, whatever. Like the timeline's a little thing, but y'all know it happened in January, the first quarter of 2021, right? Fallon said he filed for divorce, but their divorce hearing was all the way in November, right? Around that time, I think in July, he announced Porsha's. But around that time, when the U.S. immigration, following an interview with petitioner, immigration again denied petitioner's naturalization application. After after he filed, but then he took the divorce back. And everybody said, if you just said with Fallon you wanted a divorce, and then you publicly say, never mind, we're equally yoked. Fallon didn't know she was being used. She didn't know that he was like, oh, wait, that might look bad for immigration to look like I'm going through a divorce. Let me just keep everything smooth until they grant it. Because he still thought he could talk to the immigration like they were dummies. Again, when he went following an interview with petitioner, again, USCIS again denied his naturalization application. After they denied it, that's when he came out and publicly said that his heart was in Porsha Williams because baby needed a new scam. His heart was with Porsha Williams. And then remember how Fallon and Simon in 2021, since y'all want to be MF and Columbos and act like y'all don't know how years and dates and all this other stuff work. In 2021, I believe their divorce official hearing was set for November. Then something happened out the blue. And that's when he said, basically, he made a deal with her that he would buy her out earlier, whatever deal they made. I actually don't know what the deal was, the specifics, but something happened. And all of a sudden, Fallon signed off for the divorce that summer of 2021. Do you think that there's any coincidence that that happened while he was trying to make moves and after he got denied for naturalization again? That's when he was like, screw it. Fallon, we getting a divorce. I know y'all remember this timeline. I know y'all do. Anyway, right? When's the next time he applied? October 24th, 2022. Y'all know what else was supposed to be happening in October? Porsha's wedding. You know what else didn't happen? Porsha's wedding. I'm just saying, take what you want from it. On October 24th, 2022, he requested a hearing on this decision, reaffirmed the denial of his naturalization application on November 15th, 2022. So he applied again October 24th. They denied him again November 15th. Again, this is all in the appeals process. On March 13th, 2000, I'm messing my ears up again. October 22nd, 2022, on March 13th, 2023, he filed the instant complaint in the court and asked the court to vacate the denial and remand the instructions to grant his application. So let's get into what the judge says, because on the Shade Room, this is part 2. They only give you like half of the documents. And the dummy crowd is like, how do we know these are real? Go to the MF and court documents. He got just Google Simon Gavodia v. Hold on, I'll give y'all the tea. Simon Uyori Gabodia versus Mendoza Jadou, Jaddou, Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and Shanika Miller, Shinekea Miller. She's Director of the USCIS Atlanta field office. Imagine knowing that your whole life is built on the lie and you got the cojones to sue the U.S. government and say, how dare you? But let's get into how the judge ripped them apart, because this was the most interesting part. And this is this is not allegedly, this is an official court document. It's not a brief. It's not a motion. This is the judge's ruling. When a judge rules, the judge can't say guilty or denied or whatever. The judge's clerks have to go and clearly outline the background. These are the fact sets. Then they go into the law. This is the law that we must base it on and hit the prongs. Then the judge actually gives his opinion. That is when the judge breaks down in painstaking detail why he made the decision. And a judge cannot actually grant a decision. Well, they can, but it will be overturned without painstakingly going into why. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so anyway, let's get into this. I know that's what you waiting for. Analysis. Here we go. I found it. Hey, shout out to thank you for becoming a member. I will see you on the members only live. And J No Cap Mac. Woo! Shout out to Canadian. Keep doing your thing, love. Thank you, J No Cap Mac. His money don't jingle. It folds. Okay, ready? Analysis. Simon's the petitioner. Petitioner's complaint asks this court to vacate the UCIS's decision, that's immigration. Petitioner's complaint asks the court to vacate the USCIS decision, denying his naturalization application and remand with instructions to grant his applications. Remand means sit back and give an order. You better do what I say. That's all it is, right? The immigration office moved to dismiss petitioner's complaint because he failed to assert a basis for the court to grant his naturalization application. Again, Simon's the one suing because he has the cojones. Briefing on the immigration office's motion to dismiss is complete, and thus the court must determine if petitioner has stated a claim that his naturalization application should be granted based on the information in his complaint and his attachments. So when you dismiss motions or you rule on the motions, when somebody says, I want a motion to dismiss, that means based on all the evidence that the person suing me has given you, even by their own evidence that they presented to court. Because when you go to court, you have to prove whether something is true or false. That's what the lawyers are going to do. You're trying to prove, no, this is fact. This is fact. You're trying to get the jury to take your evidence as fact, right? But when it's a motion to dismiss, it's a whole different ballgame. Because whoever the motion to dismiss is saying, Your Honor, Simon's suing me, but we don't even need to take it to court to argue because the evidence that Simon has given, he has already sworn to the court as true and factual. We're not going to argue with that. The mess he gave you, the evidence he gave you, he already said this is the truth. Based off of his evidence that he gave, he didn't even prove his case. So why do we have to get up in court and argue when based off of his best evidence, everything he's saying can't be true? And the judge looked at that mess and they said, you know what? You got me there. Bye, Simon, right? And that's what a motion to dismiss is. Even if we take everything the other person is saying as true, it still doesn't prove their case. So you should just dismiss this, okay? So, as it's relevant for, I'm going to just start calling him Simon instead of petitioner. As it's relevant for the petitioner's case, for immigration to grant a naturalization application, the applicant must be lawfully admitted to the United States for permanent residence. It is the applicant's burden of proof to show that his entry to the United States was lawful. More specifically, the applicant must have been a lawful permanent resident for at least 5 years, reside in the United States continuously between his naturalization application and admission to citizenship, and be a person, oh, I know this got him, of good moral character, attached to the principles of the Constitution of the United States, and well disposed to the good order and happiness of the United States. That's USC section 14, USC 8, section 1427, subparagraph A. Here, immigration denied Simon's application because he failed to show that he was a lawful permanent resident. This is the judge's decision saying that if Simon failed to show he is a lawful permanent resident. Petitioner's permanent resident status arose from his application for Saul immigration benefits in 1992. Why are we bringing up stuff 30 years ago? Because the judge is bringing up stuff before they tell him to. Simon says, get the fuck out. Da, 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 da. Throw your hands up. Okay, sorry. When I heard this, I literally heard Simon says, get the fuck out. Throw your hands in the side. Da, 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 da. Do y'all remember that song? Simon said, anyway, right? Shut up. Can I have my fun? I've been up here shucking and jiving for 44 minutes. Let me have my fun. Okay, ready? Simon's permanent resident status arose from his application for SAW immigration. SAW is Specialized Agricultural Workers Program. Simon told him not only was he a farmer back home in the kingdom of Benin, but he was a specialized agricultural worker. I'll tell you this one thing. If Simon gets deported, he needs to try to get a special on Netflix or something, right? Anyway, so this arose from his SAW immigration benefits in 1992. This was attached in document number 1, paragraph 16 to 18, indicating that though the SAW program petitioner first achieved temporary resident status, which was automatically converted to permanent resident status after the relevant waiting period. Okay. The factual record, however, shows that Simon's SAW application had been based on a number of misrepresentations and concealments. Specifically, Simon applied for SAW benefits under a different identity. He applied for immigration under a fake identity. The judge is saying this is a verifiable fact. For everybody scary talking about allegedly, there ain't no allegedly. This is verifiable fact now. When a court of law rules on something, it is fact. Okay, right? Specifically, Simon applied for SAW benefits under a different identity. He misrepresented his marital status. So he lied about whether he was married or not. He improperly answered no to the question of whether he had any prior arrest or convictions. Okay. If you guys don't know, he got a bunch. It's in the other video. I read the first part. And 4, he incorrectly answered no to the question about whether there was any factual basis that made him inadmissible under USC 8 Section 1182 in regards to his criminal history. And 5, he misstated the date of his last entry into the United States. Spoiler alert, that's when he had gotten deported and he came back into the U.S. without permission. The agency's factual record consists of government records and an interview conducted with Simon himself. They were, as indicated, immigration's factual determinations regarding Simon's SAW application have not been challenged in the petitioner's complaint. This is what the judge was tripping over when they're like, wait a second, you're suing the American government and you're not even challenging any of these things, these 5 things I said. Simon didn't say that any of it was untrue or a lie. He didn't even challenge it. When you're in court, that's what you do when you challenge. I say, you're green and you bark like a dog, and you're like, you're purple and you're from India. And I'm like, I am not purple and I'm not from India. And you might be like, okay, well, I'm not green, but fine, I am a dog. That's all you're doing in court. You're literally like playing a game of Battleship, right? Anyway, let's get back into this. Hold on. Let's get back into analysis. I lost my place. Simon is in so much ish. Anyway, here, USC denied. I already read that. 1 second. Review of Simon's application following request for a hearing reaffirmed this decision and its reasoning. Reaffirmed means you can either appeal it, it can be overturned, or it can be reaffirmed. Reaffirm means now we doubled down. Now we tripled down. Now, boy, if you don't stop playing on me, we're going to have to call the marshals in the federal court and escort you out. Anyway, right? Here's the reasoning. In this lawsuit requiring the court's de novo review of immigration's decision, petitioner importantly does not dispute any of the factual findings. He does not contend that either immigration's account of his testimony, which they said it was, he lied about his identity, he abseiled, he omissions. Again, my Bible study class taught me omissions were lies. Y'all can tell them what y'all want, right? Omissions, He does not dispute the findings. He does not contend that either immigration's account of his testimony or the government records were incorrect. Instead, Simon argues that immigration misrepresented the significance of his misrepresentations. Simon is literally making a legal argument that immigration is at fault because they lied about the significance of his lies. On his SAW application, the court treats the complaint's allegations and its attachments, which include the immigration decisions, accordingly. Here's the thing I want to say. How do they think he thinks he got them? This is what it reads like to me. So they're in the SAW application and they already see discrepancies and they're like, so you know how to grow rutabaga? How does that work? And you know how to do rhubarb too and turnips? How do they do that? Oh, really? You're growing apples in Nigeria. How do you do that? And Simon starts talking, well, my grandfather was Johnny Appleseed and he bought apple seeds and we put it in the ground and we say ancient and Nigerian prayer over it. And then the apple seeds go up to the clouds. And I had to go and collect the apple seeds and battle giants. And the immigration office is like, that sounds like Jack and the Beanstalk. You sure about that? Wow. And they're like, yo, it's cool. Everybody makes mistakes. If for some reason you told us something on the application that is not true now, just tell us what it is because it doesn't really matter what you said. It's more important you tell us the truth now. That's basically the argument he's making, that they entrapped him by making it seem like the lies that they caught him with weren't a big deal so that he would actually get caught in more lies. This boy, Simon's dangerous. The cojones on this man. The cojones. All right, let's get back into this. The cojones on this man. Yo, Porsha better not hope she's on the new season of The Housewife and the Hustlers. You saw what they did to Erica Girardi's life, and she was living in what, a 200 million historical mansion. Simon just got like what, a $4 or $5 million bust down condo, not bust down, but a house in Atlanta. They will snatch that mess so quick. And his little pretty car collection he loves too. You know what I do find most odd before we continue? You ever hear somebody when somebody's like, you just can't fix stupid. There's no help for stupid. You can learn, but when I say stupid, because I don't know everything. Some people call me stupid. Who cares, right? I mean like somebody that's willfully ignorant. The fact that you know that the feds are the fact that you basically slipped through the cracks because you were a no one and there's a million no ones, but now that you're someone, they can pull you to the top of the list. The fact that you know that federal agents literally get off on locking Bravo people up. The fact that you know that federal agents, well, maybe you don't know, but he should, are the most when they're on their ed, they are the most vindictive, invasive. Baby, they don't care. They don't care. And your kids can be, please don't take my mommy. Look what they did with Teresa Giudice. And Teresa was like, I didn't know what Joe was doing. Right? They are the most vindictive when they need to get their person. And people sitting up there talking about, yeah, I'm in America. Baby, you can poke the bear if you want. I'll be sitting there like it's Beyonce to everybody on mute. Yes, officer. Yes. My name, Tattle Tells, who loves God, America, and her country. I bake cookies for you guys. Literally, I would be sitting there on mute. Did you say that? No, sir, I did not. No, I am fine to stay here until questioning is over. I love God, my country, and whatever else, right? Just making the eagle sound. You were sitting there. I would be on mute because I know how vindictive the feds can be and how invasive. Baby, I was able to figure this out just by doing a quick once over. If you think some paid trolls and a few Instagram posts are going to get you out of what's coming, and again, for everybody saying what's taking so long, baby, what took so long with Erica Girardi? What took so long with Teresa Giudice? What took so long with Jen Shah? The feds, when they're doing this, they take their time because they want to make sure once they got you, not only are they taking you down, but they're taking everybody with you. Teresa Gudici said she didn't know. And I honestly believe Teresa. I don't believe Teresa knew what Joe was into. But anyway, that's not her. Okay, let's get back to this. In this lawsuit requiring the court, oh, wait, I already read that. Sorry. Oh, wait, no, this is right. Okay, yeah, this is right. In this lawsuit requiring the court's de novo review, right? He doesn't dispute anything. He first argues that he should be granted full citizenship because Immigration Services has not raised any concerns about petitioner's permanent resident status for 3 decades. The judge says, indeed, he's quoting Simon's thing, indeed, until the petitioner's natural, oh, you guys, also, I found all the documents. This is just the judge's ruling. I can get all the court documents if you want. Let me know. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want me to dig up those documents and do lives about them because they are pure comedy. Anyway, right? I mean, his initial lawsuit, the filings, the briefs, them arguing back and forth on paper. This has been going on since what, 2000, whatever? Anyway. Okay. Simon first argues that he should be granted a permanent naturalization because Immigration Services has not raised any concerns about his permanent resident status for 3 decades. That's 30 years. Indeed, until the petitioner's naturalization application, this is Simon's, they're taking a quote from his brief. No immigration official has contended that he was anything but a personally lawfully granted permanent resident status. The judge says, Simon then argues that he should not be made to bear the burden of the government's mistake. So because the government didn't catch him in a lie, Simon should be, anyway. The burden of the government's mistakes. He argues that the appropriate remedy for the issues regarding his SAW application would have been to terminate his temporary resident status and that he should not be denied naturalization now. So he's saying that the first time they saw he was lying, they should have terminated the temporary status because they let him stay here for 30 years. That's now the government's problem. And he should be allowed to stay here under false identity. Do you see what I'm saying when I'm saying this mofo sounds dangerous and crazy? It's like you've been so used to lying and scamming that you somehow think that you can go into a federal court and do this. Anyway, this is a direct quote. INS had been afforded ample opportunity to revoke or terminate his temporary resident status, and having declined to do so, it lawfully admitted Simon to permanent resident status. The service may not raise its own lack of action as a ground to deny petitioner. Simon said that out of his mouth. The court finds Simon's arguments to be unpersuasive. Preliminarily, the court rejects the suggestion that immigration is at fault for not discovering Simon's own lies and admissions, misrepresentations and omissions. Simon, in essence, asks the court to allow immigration's previous treatment of his immigration status to ratify his unlawfully obtained permanent residency. The court refuses to do so. To be sure, it is Simon who unquestionably holds the statutory imposed burden of proof to show he is eligible for naturalization. The court does not find that this burden is carried merely based on an agency's erroneous treatment of Simon's status following his own lies and concealments. Moreover, Simon lacks any legal support for his argument that as an operation of law, he achieved lawful permanent resident status by the agency, not previously having corrected his status, which again was only granted given his own lies and admissions. To the contrary, legal authority suggests that achieving permanent resident status through an unlawful means is the very basis for denying naturalization. They then go on to cite a shitload of case law, right? I'll read it because it's actually really important. It says that an application for permanent residence containing material misinformation fails to conform to substantive legal requirements. Naturalization petition is denied properly because the applicant for permanent residence misrepresented critical facts, such as his actual name. A permanent district court decision to revoke citizenship going on? Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I really don't know what's going on. You know what? I'm gonna turn my camera off for a second and just read to you guys a little bedtime story. Okay, let's do that. I'll put a video file on the screen so y'all can really film me. Hold on, guys. I'm back, but let's do a video file so you guys actually know who's talking to me. All right. Everyone's telling me I'm back. I know, but something's wrong with the internet connection. It keeps dropping me. Simon's putting voodoo roots on me. Okay, let me just read this, okay, really quick. Happy y'all ain't loyal. Well, y'all are loyal. Y'all ain't loyal, right? Listen, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. I actually think it might be YouTube or like whatever. My Wi-Fi is actually good, but I think somebody put some voodoo on me, if you know what it do. Anyway, y'all, let me get into this so we can, let me hook the mic up too. Hold on. I'm about to finish this paperwork. It's almost done. And then we're going to do the members only Monday, like in an hour or two. Y'all know I got you. Also, let me welcome the new members also. Let's see who is new. And then we're going to get back to the reading. I'm almost done. I swear. For you, who is this? For you to see ASP. Thank you. I'll see you on the members only Monday. Who is this? Navia plays Roblox. That's right. Thank you for joining and becoming a new member twice. And also, thank you so much to God's Angel of Serenity. Okay, I'll see y'all on the members only Monday live a little later on, like an hour or two. But in the meantime, I want to actually give you guys, finish the rest of this court document. I swear I'm almost done. Okay. Where are we? 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 Manage. Okay. So basically, where we last left our beleaguered, hero, Simon was being dragged in court by the judge. The judge was showing him absolutely no mercy at all. And I said, you know what? You love to see it. Okay. So here we go. So they said that you cannot, first of all, the reason your application was denied is because they don't consider him a lawful permanent resident, which means his green card is not legal, because all the immigration law, and we all know this, knows if you lie about your identity, your criminal record, and everything on your green card, then no, they cannot actually, that's not a valid green card. All right. The court rejects Simon's argument that he is in fact a lawful permanent resident based on his SAW application. They also say the immigration's decision did not improperly implicate any confidential information protected under statute, and the information contained in the SAW application can be used instantly to access if petitioner states a claim for naturalization. Now, what's going over here? Simon had the nerve to argue that whether fraudulent or not, this is his application, whether his application is fraudulent or not, cannot be used against him to deny immigration benefits because of the statutory confidentiality protections afforded to SAW applicants. The court concludes that Simon's argument misses the mark. Immigration did not deny Simon's a naturalization application based on protected information in his SAW application. Immigration denied his application based on its own investigation during Simon's naturalization application process. Not only does his investigation provide an independent source for the information outside of the SAW application itself, but federal regulations allow for using prior immigration records in the process of assessing a naturalization application. Simon really tried to say that whether or not he lied is not of the matter, because, baby, they're not allowed to use his old applications to base his current immigration status, because that's confidential. He's telling this to the immigration office. So the immigration office is like, so you mean I can't look in the file cabinet? Okay. Risa Web 5, thank you so much for becoming a member. I'll see you for the members only live. Okay. They said, based on petitioner's complaint and the attachments therein, the court concludes that Simon's permanent residency for purposes of his naturalization application depends on his permanent resident status achieved from his SAW benefits. He achieved the SAW benefits through lies and omissions regarding his identity, criminal history, and other personal characteristics. And there be petitioner's permanent residency status is not lawful for the purposes of granting his application for naturalization. Without lawful, and they put it in italics, permanent residency status, Simon's complaint fails to state a claim that he meets the eligibility requirements to become a naturalized citizen. Again, the judge cited in law, no person shall be naturalized unless he has been lawfully admitted to the United States for permanent residence. Conclusion, he dismissed Simon's petition. Y'all, by dismissing that petition, that means that the prior rulings have been reaffirmed. Simon is not a lawful, he's not a lawful permanent residency. What does that mean? Well, he might, if he's lucky, get time to appeal. But if he's not lawful and there are no other visas, maybe he can use one of his little shell companies to be a worker, but he'd have to show somehow what work he's doing. So what does that tell you? If you are not lawful, then that means that it's only a matter of time and you cannot find another way to get a visa. Mind you, the court finally said you literally lied about your whole identity and you snuck back into the country under a fraudulent, unlawful green card residence, permanent visa, after you got deported for credit card fraud and being a criminal over here. Let's just say the court says, okay, fine. You want like one more chance? Fine. The point is, if he doesn't get it, that means the court will start deportation processes because you are not lawful. And given the fact that he's lied a million times before, and given the time that the only reason he was deported, the federal government thought they deported Simon Iori Gabadia. Unless Simon Iori Gabadia is his fake name, I don't know. The court thought that they deported Simon Iori Gabadia. They did. Another person, that Simon was a fictitious person, another person, identity, Simon entered into, lied to the government, got citizenship. The reason why this man has been able to be here for years and years and years is not because he's in the right. It's not because he did. It's not because the government said, oh, that way he's passed doesn't matter, baby. Not when you get in citizenship. Imagine going over to France or the EU or Malaysia or Singapore and being like, yo, I want citizenship. And they're like, all right, the first thing you got to do is put up your criminal record. So you had credit card fraud? Yeah, boys will be boys. All right. And unlawful use of a car and bank fraud and credit card fraud again? Criminal conviction. If you don't get yourself out of here and go back to your country, go back to America. Imagine if you go to France and showing that and being like, I would like citizens. This is the whole basis of it. But they said the reason you were able to skate by is because you filed this before computers and the internet existed. Well, did the internet exist in 91, 92? Did it? Did computers exist? I don't know. If they were like literally first generation. Anyway, the whole point of the matter is you skated by, you were here off of lies that we had not caught. And as soon as we caught them in 2016, we kindly asked you to, no, you're not going to be a citizen. You didn't like that. You appealed. You did this. You did that. You even sued the government. The judge basically legally laughed you out of the court. And now look at you. You sitting here on Instagram in your fake little life with your dutiful little wife that don't even know what's coming down. Now, the real thing we need to ask is who leaked this info? Because I'm not even going to joke. I knew about this info before it hit the blogs. But I said, you know what? Whatever. I ain't going to be the one to bring it up because I've been told y'all and y'all don't care, right? So it hit the blogs and now everybody care. And people are playing games, but they're just being reckless. Again, let me be clear, right? Well, I don't even think you can. I don't know. It confuses me. Because it really confuses me because it's kind of, I just never seen somebody that reckless taunting, but there is something coming down. And if you're not a lawful resident because your whole point of being there and the only reason you were able to skip by is because basically they didn't catch your lies. But now they know you lying and they know you got a high profile and they know that the feds love the showboat. So what y'all think is going to happen, honestly? What do you think is going to happen? I don't know. It's literally in God's hands now. I just listen, whatever happens to Simon, that's on Simon because at the end of the day, Simon he lives his life the way he wants to live his life and he's proud of it. And good for him. Be proud of who you are. Far be it from me, live your life. I'll talk about it, but live your life the way you want. I'm not God, but who I am actually really, really, really worried about, Porsha. 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 Y'all, listen. What y'all think? Let me get into these comments really quick. Let me get into these comments really quick. Risa Webb, thank you for, I already said that, but I'm gonna say it again. Thank you so much for joining. Shinda Chisholm, I'll see you tonight at the Members Only Monday. Oh, thank you for real life moments. Anthony, thank you so much for the super sticker. And G Harris, I will see you tonight at the Members Only Monday. Y'all, listen, on the Members Only Monday, we're going to drop quite a few things. Most importantly, we are going to drop, I talked to an immigration attorney. We're going to talk about who leaked these documents. Was it Porsha or was it the Real Housewives of Atlanta producers? I got some tea on that. Okay, y'all want to see some speculation? Y'all want to get off these court documents and hear what the streets are saying? Because last time I told you what the streets are saying, the U.S. government came back and said, true that, true that, true that. Anyway, you guys, listen, let me get out of here. I'll see you guys for the members only Mondays live. It'll be in a couple of hours. Turn your notifications on. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And really quick, let me just say hi. And thank you to Dovey, Lindak, Dr. J, 1913, Dory Angel, Miss Goddess K, Interior Motives, Kesa Shields, Anna Long, thank you, J No Cap Mac, Money Don't Jingle Jingle, It Falls. Thank you for you to see ASP. Thank you so much. Navai plays Roblox. Thank you so much, Navai plays Roblox, for signing up twice. Thank you so much, God's Angel of Serenity. Thank you so much, Risa Web 5 again. Thank you so much. Special thank you to Shinda Chisholm. Ooh, for real life moments. Anthony, thank you for blessing me. Appreciate that. G Harris and the newest Tattle Tell members of all. Icy, because I'm icy. Please. Okay, fine. And of course, I heart Yuli. Welcome back, Yuli. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys at the Members Only Live later on tonight. Talk to you later. Bye.